Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. We are going to look into the Bhakti Secret 5 spoken by the lady of Tirukkolur. So this is the story about a king who was called Tondaiman Chakravarti. So Tondaiman Chakravarti had a great legacy of being associated with Lord Balaji or Lord Venkateshwara of the Tirumala hills. The verse which the lady mentions is, "Did I bring back life into the skeletons like King Tondaiman Chakravarti?" This is naturally curious who Tondaiman Chakravarti was and what were his actions which led to giving life to skeletons. Sounds scary, but let us see the facts. In the kingdom of Tondaiman Chakravarti, there was a priest by the name Krishna Sharma. Krishna Sharma's father was in the evening of his life, and he had this wish to be on the banks of the river Ganges, and he wished to give his life there. But unfortunately, he couldn't travel to Ganges at the end of his life. So he had one last wish that at least after the end of his life, at least his ashes should be immersed in the river Ganges. It was difficult to travel from the south to north in those days when there were minimum transportation facilities and one had to either walk or had to take help of an animal to travel that far. So it was very difficult for Krishna Sharma to ensure that his father was physically present in the river, in the banks of the river Ganges. So when his father met his end, he did his final rites and he collected the ashes. He wanted to immerse it in the river Ganges. Now he had a problem. He also faced the same transportation difficulty to reach to Ganges from the Tirumala hills, which is in the southern part of India. So he decided that he will take a long, tedious journey to fulfill his father's final wishes. So when he was planning for the trip, he had a difficult situation at hand because his wife and his kid were alone and he was not sure who would be taking care of them in his absence. Thinking of various options, it suddenly struck him that the Raja, his king, Tondaiman Chakravarti, he was a noble king, he was loved and respected by his subjects. So he thought of approaching the king with his conundrum and obtaining a solution for this. So he goes to the king, he explains this. The king is very happy to help Krishna Sharma because he felt that he was helping someone going to the Ganges. So he thought that it is a sacred duty, and the king assured Krishna Sharma that he can take his tour in peace and the king would personally take care of his family. Saying so, the king appointed a caretaker to take care of Krishna Sharma's family, and Krishna Sharma left. So it would be an educated guess on how much time it would have taken for him to reach Ganges and come back. So let us assume here maybe it would be 10 to 12 months. So when Krishna Sharma finally completed his father's final wishes, he came back, and in those 10 months he was not worried because he had full faith in the king. So he came back from his journey and he informed the king that his father's final wishes were satisfied, and he inquired about his family. That is when the king realized that he had a caretaking responsibility. Obviously, he was the king had a lot of royal responsibilities, so it was not possible for him to keep track of this family. Yet, since he had personally informed Krishna Sharma that he would be taking care of his family, he told Krishna Sharma that he will personally get his family from the place where they were residing. Saying so, the king reaches the chambers where Krishna Sharma's family was staying, but he was terrified to find not people there but two skeletons. So the king immediately investigated what happened to this family, and he was shocked to find that the caretakers, they were initially taking care, but again, as the gestation period was long, they didn't take care of the family, they neglected the family, and the family, without proper food or water, they met their unfortunate fate. Now this king was in a great dilemma. It was he who had assured this priest, and he now felt that it was against his dharma that he didn't protect this family. So he thinks about a response, and immediately he goes back to Krishna Sharma and says that his family was visiting the holy temple of Tirupati, and they will be back in a day or two, and he requested Krishna Sharma to feel comfortable in his palace in one of the chambers. The king then went to Lord Balaji and he prayed fervently. He spoke to the Lord saying that it was no mistake on the part of Krishna Sharma, he had trusted him. So Krishna Sharma definitely should not meet this fate. He should not hear this kind of news. He sincerely told the Lord that it was his fault, his own fault, that he neglected this family. So whatever be the punishment, it should be on him rather than on the priest and his family. So with his unshaken devotion, with his unconditional faith, he prayed, and he did get the darshan of Lord Balaji. Lord Balaji appeared and he told the king that he was pleased with his devotion, and the reason which the king gave to Krishna Sharma was his family was in Tirupati, so he didn't want to break that faith of his devotee. So he told the king to take the holy water and sprinkle on the skeletons, and they will get back to life. So with that assurance, the king was happy. He went and sprinkled the water on the skeletons, and slowly they came back to life. Yeah, this is unbelievable, but then when the faith and the devotion is unconditional, is unshaken, unbelievable things do happen. With that, he personally escorted the family out of the chambers, and he took them to the chambers where Krishna Sharma was staying, and he explained all the situations leading from what happened when Krishna Sharma had left for the tour till the time where the king sprinkled the water and gave life to the skeletons. So Krishna Sharma was shocked to hear this, but he was also happy, saying that his family had got a second lease of life, and this family was a direct prasada or a blessing of Lord Balaji himself, and that way they had no complaints. So this is the story which the lady of Tirukkolur narrates to Swami Ramanuja. So she asks, did I have that kind of an unshaken faith like Raja Tondaiman Chakravarti? If I had that faith, then there is no problem for me to stay in this divine place, but I don't have that faith, so it doesn't matter if I stay in this place or I leave this place. So that was the story. So what is the message for us from this story? Are we supposed to go and give life to skeletons? That is definitely not possible. So the message for us here is, we do face a lot of adverse and or difficult situations in our life. They are embedded in our life, and we are going to meet them one day or other. So it is for us to have an unconditional faith and do devotion just like Raja Tondaiman Chakravarti. And this will definitely help us to fight and manage these situations. Please note that doing devotion or having faith in the Lord doesn't mean that we will never encounter any difficult situations or life would be a bed of roses. No, life is meant to go how it is supposed to go, but it is only that these incidents will not drag us, these incidents will not impact our mind adversely, and it will give us a positive outlook to look for solutions and fight these situations. So this was the Bhakti Secret 5. Stay tuned for Bhakti Secret 6. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha, Radhe Krishna.